Now a story that combines two of Shai's favorite things, design and shopping, as he shows us some of the creative elements in a new Portuguese decor store.
Retail locations put lots of money into their design concepts, which is great because we can use it as inspiration for our homes. Toronto's Little Portugal just saw Saudade, a brand new retail establishment, open up, and I want to show you guys. Let's have a look. The climate in Portugal is obviously much warmer than here in Canada, which leaves a question: how do you define an area if you're not going to use area rugs, which they wouldn't necessarily need? Look at these beautiful graphic Portuguese tiles. I love the way that they've defined the space with the tiles and then bordered them with a more contemporary look. They finished it off by using that same tile as a backsplash in this niche detail. Look at the beautiful detail in the ceiling. I love the way they've done the plaster work, and then of course centered the rosette with this beautiful chandelier, something that might be a little bit expected. But my favorite part is the pairing of the really contemporary LED lights with the smaller rosettes over the tables. As designers, we always talk about upcycling interesting pieces, and I absolutely love what they've done here with this piece that they found by incorporating it into their existing marble cash desk. I had a great idea actually. We could take the base off this, lower it to counter height, and this would be a stunning kitchen island detail. Speaking of ingenuity, they've taken breeze blocks and used wood to create this great display unit, or at home, a shelving unit. I'm actually going to stick around and soak up some more of this beautiful Portuguese culture, and in fact, I've learned my very first word, obrigado.
The store's called Saudade.
Saudade.
Yes. And it's probably in my old neighborhood, so Little Portugal. That's where I used to live, and I absolutely loved. So let's talk a little bit about international influences in your decor, because when you are a designer, often you all are traveling, and part of that is learning new ideas and getting your creative juices flowing and bringing some of that back into your clients' lives. So let's talk about your favorite international influences. I'm going to start with you.
One of the things that really influenced me was when I was in Amsterdam. Okay. And I stayed at the most amazing bed and breakfast, and the one thing I noticed, it was a 400-year-old rectory, and she had used glossy paint on all of her trim, and her trim was like yay big.
Really?
I went home and I started to rethink the fact that I used sort of a satin or pearl finish, and I went into a semi-gloss. Freaked my painter out. This was a couple years ago. But I started to really look at sheens and, and how beautiful they just, it just made, when light hit it, it just made it beautiful. When you've got something that you want to show off, make it shiny.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's smart.
You know, I think that it's so great to be able to go to, for example, Europe or wherever it is that you're going to go to abroad. And oftentimes people seem to think that because the design motifs or aesthetic might be a little bit more traditional than what we are used to over here, there's no way that they can incorporate. And I think the best design concepts always have that unexpected something. And those unexpected motifs that we can bring over from Europe, let's say, for example, like they did in the store, they had those beautiful Portuguese tiles, the traditional Portuguese tiles, in the center of those really contemporary looking tiles, and that mixture, that kind of juxtaposition of the two is so great, and it's so on trend now for interior design. So now it's all about bringing those influences in, bringing those motifs in.
Yeah, it's all about the mix and matching.
Yes.
For sure.
It's far more eclectic.
My favorite international influence is pizza. It has nothing to do with decor whatsoever. Just pizza. You want to explain to us what Saudade means?
Yeah, so okay, I had to write this down because it's a great, it is the sentimental yearning or longing for a former place or person. So,
that's lovely.
You know, it's sometimes we see names of places and it means nothing to us, but there is such an interesting kind of idea and story behind it. So that was definitely worth saying, Yeah,
that's very nice. Well, thanks to Saudade. They've sent down a $200 gift card for us to draw for after the show. So you go there and do some shopping.